think I can do this now. Holy crap. I am not eating any more Junior's fucking cookies. I don't know what the hell happened, but I had a few of Junior's cookies and they got stuck in my... It didn't even feel like they got stuck in my throat, but they had to have. Oh, took a couple drinks of pop and ended up getting rid of it. So we're here for the update this week, but I've got a minor problem I got to deal with. So we may be not testing everything because I have no power. Something in this place is sucking my power. I've actually taken the batteries out of here. I have them right here. And now my power has stopped draining damn near instantly. I hooked up the redstone shutoff for this. I have this disconnected until I put a redstone shutoff like this on it. So I know it's neither of those. So one of these multi-blocks is sucking power even though it's turned off. And I don't know which one. So I need to test that after we get done. Oh, you mean that the cookie dust gets stuck in there and your throat feels coffee all the... Yeah. I was just sitting here coughing and coughing and coughing. I could not stop. Like I was trying to get something out of my throat. Until I ended up, Crazy's not here, so I can get away with saying this. Until I ended up throwing up, just a little bit of the pop I had drank. And as soon as I did that, it apparently cleared it out, and I'm okay now. I can't say throwing up around Crazy because that's gross. And apparently nobody in the planet has ever done such a vulgar act that, just a mere mentioning of it makes her mind go to, the sounds and smells and acts of the thing. So can't say that around her. Anyways, so we are here for update. So we're going to get looking at what we have. And I will do my best for testing what I can with the minimum amount of power that I have. What's so bad about throwing a cookie up into the air? Yeah, man, that's what I'm thinking. So first off, we have a note from Greg that there will be no Soul Forest compat done as the mod is, well, shit. Putting titanium gems on sticks to make titanium rods just overdid it for me, along with giving each item its own ID and not registering literally anything to the Ordic. Not that I would want it considering all the exploits that would cause, like steel ore. I still cannot believe somebody actually added steel ore. There's already iron, for fuck's sakes. Alright, but with that being said, he did do compat this week for Funky Locomotion, which we have added to the server. And I will probably play around with it a bit. I was actually thinking about making me a lift that will go across here where I can lift myself up to the higher levels so I can get things. I'm just not exactly sure how I want to do it yet. This is clearly not the first mod adding steel ore. I saw one doing it to the ore dictionary before, probably metallurgy. Metallurgy I don't believe has steel ore. It has dark iron, shadow iron, weird things like that, but I don't believe it has steel ore as much. I don't play with it a lot, but I've played with it in a few mod packs. But yeah, I seriously don't doubt there's other ones that have done it. Let's see. Funky Locomotion should now accept GT6 electricity, just like it does RF. Don't be scared about wasting power. Those motors just have a huge storage, 64,000 EU. So that would be the frame puller, frame pusher, frame slider that actually, I'm guessing maybe the frame booster too. Those are what store the power. See, I've never used this mod, so I'm not positive. And, well, I don't have a whole lot of power to play around with today. Also have to make some Enderium. I have not made any Enderium yet, unless the slider will work. If there's a pusher and a puller block, how would that work with like an elevator type thing? Because I'd have to have a pusher to push it back down. I do not know what the frame booster does. I only know the pusher and puller and slider. But yeah, all four of them do store 64,000. Okay. I would guess you'd put a booster on a slider or a pusher. The item in the middle, this thing? Okay, this is a piston and a sticky piston. Which one is he talking about? In the slider. Puller, pusher, slider. Yeah, it's a sticky piston. Or a regular piston. Okay, so you messed up that recipe. I guess that's supposed to be the pusher. Since this one uses a pusher, I'm guessing this one's supposed to have a pusher in it too. Okay, yeah, that's what I kind of figured. And then the booster is a pusher and a piston. The boost or a puller and a piston with Invar and Electrum for it. We can do the thing, right? Yeah, okay. We can autoclave dust into regular. Okay, I just want to make sure since it used the actual lapis, not dust form, that we at least had a way of making lapis out of lapis dust. Let's see. He also did compat this week for Abyssal Craft. Material data has been added. Some similar standard Greg compat stuff, such as using spades on its grass types. And I didn't add Abyssal Craft to test it. I'm figuring it's just compat, so there's not a whole lot of testing there that I need to do. And I don't really know what the mod is, so I didn't add it to our server. If it needs to be tested further, I can throw it in a single player and mess around with it there and see what we got. And then the fluid density fix thing, I'm not quite sure what all that is, but he fixed some fluid densities, did not match up with the material densities, but now they do. Hi, Lorenus. I'm guessing he still doesn't have, what is that one? There's one fluid we have that goes the wrong direction, and I've bitched at him about it a few times. I think it's oxygen. But I don't know if that's what he's talking about. We'll find out here in a minute if he tells me. Oxygen is, well, it says heavier than air, because oxygen should be heavier than air. So it must not be that one. There was one of them that I didn't think was right. That it went the wrong way. Maybe he fixed it and I didn't even know it. Oh, yeah, hydrogen. I think you're right with that. Hydrogen is lighter than air. So if you did fix it, it's fixed. As it definitely should be lighter than air and goes up, not down. There's still one other complaint I have, which I think is, if you look at Wikipedia, it actually explains the goof up, and that is phosphorus and phosphor. Phosphorus is the same thing as phosphor technically, I guess. But phosphorus is considered an element, and I think it's just a naming thing, where this is not actually phosphorus. Phosphor is phosphorus, because phosphorus should be on the periodic table. But because Greg has this weird naming thing, we have phosphor up here instead of phosphorus. Because if you look at the periodic table, which, give me a second here. Yeah. Dun-dun-dun. Ah, that screen is fucked up. Apparently it never got fixed. There we go. But right here is phosphorus, which is an element. But it's also, I think phosphorus and phosphor are the same thing, but there's another thing that what Greg is calling phosphorus is also called phosphorus. It's really fucking retarded. And so I can't really blame Greg for it. It's just weird when you're going through the periodic table and you're like, okay, well, phosphorus goes right here, but then you go to the game and it's like, wait a minute, I can break phosphorus down to phosphor. So that means phosphor is the element, not phosphorus. I spent like a couple hours just going through this in my head and it's like, fuck, I'm getting a headache. Screw it. I'm going with Greg. It's just easier that way. Alright, so then the other thing he did, which I'm greatly appreciating the fact that he did, because I'm tired of looking at this shit, is he finally added a recipe for getting rid of this crap. This I can't pronounce it. Eutylite shit. There's now an electrolyzer recipe, which, holy fuck, is it an electrolyzer recipe? You do 64 of them, and you get 18 zircon, 3 pyrolusite, 13 sodium, 3 calcium, 4 salt, 8 blocks of silicon dioxide. So this is going to be a great way of getting silicon. And then 12 units of oxygen. But it's going to take you 1,834 EU a tick to do so. So at least now I can finally throw this stuff in to be processed, because I've been just leaving it stack up over here because I didn't want it wasting my wasting space, basically. Now, centrifuging it gets you zircon, rare earth, and hafnium. Alright, so we'll just throw this shit. Oh, what the hell? I mean, this is probably when I ran out of power? I don't know. No, it couldn't have been when I ran out of power, because it was actually not emptying. Wonder why it didn't empty. No idea. But anyways, that now has a recipe. And then the last and final thing is a new multi-block that I'm going to need to make today, which I'm going to work on after I work on power, which is we have the implosion compressor back. So finally, I have something that can be done other than turning it into carbon with this 321 diamond dust I have. So you look here and implosion compressor. 1 diamond dust will turn into 1 crystalline industrial diamond plate. Why the fuck that is yellow, I don't know. You can use any of the dynamite or TNT. So 1 strong dynamite from GregTech. That's the 4. Wait a minute. Why are these? Oh, because Greg made industrial diamonds yellow. Okay. It's kind of weird, but okay. Why are they yellow? Alright, so 1. Because IRL industrial diamonds have a yellow tint. Oh. Okay. I actually didn't know that. Let me eat me some bananas. And we'll have some ribs. Okay, back to looking at this here. So, let me read what it says here instead of trying to go through NEI. Explosives supported are vanilla TNT at 8, IC2 ITNT at 4, GT6 dynamite at 2, and strong dynamite is 1. So depending on how many it takes for a specific process depends on how many it's going to take of each individual. So if it calls for 1, it's going to be 1 strong dynamite, 2 regular dynamite, 4 ITNT, or 8 vanilla TNT, so on, so forth. But you can turn, and you got to use a selector tag, and then you can turn it into a 1-for-1 for the industrial plate, 2 for a flawless industrial diamond, 4 will make an exquisite. That's 2. 1 can also make an actual industrial diamond. And thank God he didn't go through and do all of the GT5U recipes for putting chip together to make a flawed, and flawed togethers to make regulars, and then regulars to make, and all that crap. At least I hope he didn't. I didn't actually look. I guess I probably should before I go saying that. Let's see. Implosion compressor, you can turn those into crystalline sapphire plates. And apparently they just get turned into the useless, or not the useless, but the nameless sapphire. You can't get a specific color. You can just get the old generic sapphire. Implosion compressor, dust. So yeah, it looks like this is only dust, which is good, because the whole frickin' GT5U putting different versions together to get a better quality was kind of weird. Note that ruby dust will also turn into sapphire. Huh? Oh, will. Huh. I asked why? Sapphire. Hey, we can make craponites. Fucking awesome. And any of the emeralds will turn into emerald. Because ruby is nothing but red sapphire. Oh. Okay. We can make topaz, but who the fuck needs that shit? Mana crap. Alexandrite. If you really wanted them, zircon. Black onyx. A lot of them I would never use, but amethyst, jasper, tanzanite. The hell is that one? Oh, goshenite. Yeah, the white shit. Oh, and this actually takes 256 ticks. I swear it was like almost instant last time. Now, what about the fake ruby? Does that also go to sapphire too? I don't know which one of these is fake and which one is real. Okay, this must be the fake one. Yeah, because it's got magnesium in it instead of iron. And it cannot be turned into a sapphire. Alright, so I'm going to read what Greg has here for it. Oh, he just said, oh, I might have forgotten the fake ones. It works almost like the ye old days. You insert gem dust, the selector tag, and your explosive of choice, and boom, it makes the gem or gem plate you wanted. There will, of course, be noise complaints, as this thing definitely does an explosion sound anytime it processes something. The multi-block is a hollow 3x3x3 of dense tungsten walls, while the main block is centered at the bottom of whichever side it is facing. Alright, so let's look at the recipe for this thing. It definitely got more expensive than it was in ye olde days. Seeing how in ye olde days it was steel. And now it's tungsten steel. Alright, am I completely blind or what? Where in the fuck is the recipe for this thing? I did spell it right? IMP. There we go. Put a C in there and you'll get it. Alright, so this thing really got more expensive. Holy crap. Some gems may become nice. Yeah, they might be. So it's built out of strong, dense tungsten steel blocks, but it takes a dense tungsten wall to make the controller. Is that right, Greg? It's just kind of weird to me, but then it takes 2 ruby processors, 3 dense tungsten steel plates, 2 T6 circuits, and an MV compact robot arm. Which that takes, what is it, T3? No, T2. T2 and aluminum for that. 27 dense tungsten steel walls, yeah. Yeah, but why does it take a dense tungsten wall in the recipe for the controller instead of a dense tungsten steel for that? Because that would actually be 26 dense tungsten steel walls and a dense tungsten wall. Okay, so that's a typo. That's supposed to be a dense tungsten steel wall. Okay, so then I will wait until release before I actually construct that part. I've actually got the T6 circuits done. I got 27 of them left over from processing early. So I guess that is it for the update. Unless there was something that Greg didn't have in the changelog for me to look at, but that is what I've seen of the updates that this week. So I guess after Greg does a couple minor fixes, the release will be out probably a little bit later on today. I will end the stream here and we'll be back in just like 5 minutes, so I can get some work done with getting some power back here. Alright, yeah, releases soon. Okay. But yeah, I need to get some work done getting my power back up. I need to see if I can figure out why this cable burnt up. I think that's part of why we were low on power. It ran perfectly fine before, but now I came back and it was burnt up. But yeah, I will see you guys in just a few minutes after YouTube gets done with their stuff of switching over from one stream to another. So make sure if you have any questions, stop into GT Help and let me know, or stop into Greg's development channel on IRC and talk to him directly. And I will see you guys later.